Hello there, welcome to Learn to Sail. Today on our podcast we're going to look at winches, how to use the winches that we've got in the cockpit of the boat to control the lines. Now usually on a cruising yacht you're going to have 4 winches in the cockpit. You'll have 2 on the sides, 1 on either side. And you have 2 up a little bit further in the cockpit. So let's take a look at how a winch works. So why do we use winches? Well, the winches take the ropes that control the sails, enabling us to pull the sails in or ease the sails out. Things to appreciate about a winch is, well, it only turns in one direction. It only goes in a clockwise direction. So when you look at it from the top, it will only turn in that direction, clockwise, when you look at it from the top. If it tries to turn the other way, the ratchets which are inside here lock and stop it from turning, and it's that enables us to pull with a lot more power on our winches. Winches, well, very often they're 2-speed winches. Certainly on here these are 2-speed winches, so you've got a slow and a fast, a low and a high gear to help you pull your rope. Now when you put a rope onto a winch, remember, the more turns that we put on the winch, the more grip that the winch is going to give us. Always load the rope on in a clockwise direction. That's the direction that the winch is going to turn, and that'll be 1 turn, 2 turns, etc. The more turns you use, the more grip you're going to get, the more it's going to hold that rope for you. Once you've got sufficient turns on and you've pulled the rope tight, then on top of the winch we have what's called a self-tailer here, which feeds the rope, the sheet, up into the jaws, the cleat at the top, which will then, like that, pull it tight. That opens up, and that's going to hold the rope for us. 1 turn, 2 turns, 3, and 4 for grip. Onto the tailer and into the cleat. Now, points of safety here. Because of the weight that's going to be on this rope, you've got a distinct hazard with your winch, so you need to know how to use it. Always keep your hands back from the winch. Don't allow your fingers to get anywhere near where the rope goes onto the drum of the winch. Always keep your hands back about a foot to start with. Now, as I mentioned, the more turns we put on, the more grip it's going to give us. More turns, more grip. So on goes 1 turn. Well, if I put 1 turn on like that, you can see if I pull that, that slips quite easily. If I put a 2nd turn on, so I've got 2 turns on the winch. If I pull that, that starts to grip a bit hard, but it will still slip. Okay, all I need to do at this end is pull back, and that will lock and enable me to pull it on. If I go for 3 turns, keep the turns flat and build up from the bottom. Flat turns, building up from the bottom. If I go for 4 turns, then I've got lots of grip now. No matter how much weight comes on that, a little tug in that direction locks it, enables us to pull the rope in. So, once we pulled it in as far as we can by hand, keeping our hand back from where the winch is biting the rope, then onto the tailer, into the cleat, and then to finish the job up and to tension this rope, we put the winch handle in the top of the winch. So let's get the winch handle. These are located about the cockpit in various locations. There's another one at the front of the cockpit on that side. There. The winch handle goes in the top of the winch like so, and then simply turning the winch, we start to apply more pressure. As I say, they're 2-speed winches. If I turn in the opposite direction, that changes to low gear, but enables me to pull with much greater pressure and pull it in. So it's fast to start with, and then just change direction, and there you finish the job off there. Now, when you've finished, remember to take the winch handle out of the winch and to stow it back in its holster where it can't fall over the side of the boat, because a lot of these don't float. These ones do actually, but we're not going to test it. Right, when it comes to releasing the rope off the winch, if we were going to turn the boat and we needed to put the jib over to the other side, then the helm will give the instruction of lee-ho, and that is to release the rope, the sheet rather, off of the winch here. Okay, now to do that, remember there's a lot of weight on this. Take it out of the cleat at the top first and pull back on it. By pulling back on it, I'm making it bite onto the winch. Pull back like so. Keep your fingers back. Okay. When it's time to release it, just ease down, just slacken it off, and let the rope slide out, let the weight slowly come off, and then flick the turns off. And then if we're tacking, allow the rope to be transferred over the other side as the sail carries it across. Keep your hands back. When you're using winches for reel, remember to protect your hands. Good pair of sailing gloves saves all that wear and tear on your hands. These are my old favourites. They've seen a bit of service. But they do protect your hands, and all that wear and tear that you see on the glove, well, that's not on your hand, is it? Going to give you 3 pointers now at the end of the podcast. Key things to remember now when you are using the winches, when you're handling the ropes that go on them. 3 key pointers coming up.